Alright guys, I'm about to take this little test on the bright side of life.
If you've ever dreamed of having a sharp eye for detail, just like Sherlock Holmes, then today's your lucky day. We're about to put your skills to the test. Only the 4% most attentive can spot all the mistakes. Can you?
Yes, I can. Can you send it?
Here we have a picture of a seemingly normal day on the farm. But if you look a little closer, you'll notice that it has 25 mistakes in it. You have 1 minute to study the drawing carefully and try to find all the mistakes. If this time still isn't enough, pause the video for as long as you need. And here's a helpful tip. Pay close attention to the logic of what's happening in the picture. There are a lot of small details that just couldn't exist in reality. You can start by checking out that field. All right, your time starts now. Good luck, detective. How are you doing? Have you already spotted tons of mistakes? Are you having some trouble? Have you checked the house, the animals, the field? You can do this. You must be finishing up by now, right? Was it a piece of cake or way over your head? If you think you found all 25, great job. If you struggled a bit, that's okay. No matter which boat you're in, we'll check your answers here in a bit. 1. Let's start with the weather anomaly in the picture. The wind is blowing in different directions at the same time. The smoke from the chimney is going to the right, while the trees on the left of the picture are blowing to the left. Number 2. Speaking of trees, can you tell what season it is? Probably not, since some of the trees have bright green summery leaves, while others are leafless, as if it's the dead of winter. Number 3. Since we're still looking at the trees, did you notice anything strange about that tallest one there? Looks like it stole a branch from a completely different type of tree. Number 4. At the beginning of the video, we gave you a little clue to check out the field, and that's because it's got tons of weird-looking stuff going on. For example, the crops are being seeded and harvested at the same time. Number 5. The next logic-defying mistake in the field has to do with the horse. Did you notice that it's walking in the direction of the already plowed field? Yet the ground behind it is untouched. So, is the horse walking backwards or something? Number 6. Keep your eyes on the horse, because there's another anomaly. If you know anything about farming, you understand there has to be a person to hold the plow. But here, we see nobody. Number 7. Actually, we can see somebody, but not behind the plow. There's a man with a hay cart, but it's way too big in comparison with him. How's the poor guy supposed to pull that thing when he's barely taller than the wheel? Number 8. So, we talked about how the season in this picture is out of whack, but at least some of the trees are green, which means there must be something growing in the fields, right? Nope, only dead leafless trees. Number 9. There's also something funky going on with the sun. You'll notice this if you take a gander at the elderly man and the dog, or more precisely, at their shadows. They fall to different sides. Number 10. You'll see another problem connected with shadows. If you look at the gate, its shadow is also falling to a different side than the man's and the dog's. Plus, why is it all wavy like that? Number 11. Keep your eyes on the gate and its shadow. While the gate has 5 horizontal rails, its shadow only has 4. Number 12. Not to mention, why is it that only the man, the dog, and the gate have shadows? None of the other objects in the picture have one. Number 13. One more thing that seems to be wrong with the gate is the absence of any hinges to open it. It just looks like a section of the fence. Number 14. As long as we've started talking about the fence, it's a little bit unusual how the bushes are growing right on top of it. The plants seem to have absolutely no contact with the ground. Number 15. Plus, the whole idea of a fence is to keep people out, right? This fence seems a little unsafe and unreliable, since it protects only one side of the yard. Maybe they hope burglars won't approach from the other side. Number 16. Now, draw your attention to the house. Looks like the artist left out one very important detail. Whoever lives here has some lovely steps to walk up and down their house, though the wall that the steps lead to, there's no door. 17. Who knows? Maybe the inhabitants of this house enter through the windows, and they must not care about the curtains hanging on them, since they're hanging on the outside under the elements. 18. If the nice elderly man lives in this house, he must have a hard time getting in through those tiny little windows. Did you notice how big he is compared to the size of the house? He can touch the roof with his head. 19. Another mismatch in sizes is connected with the dog and the sheep. That's either a world record-setting dog, or those sheep are teeny tiny. 20. On the topic of these bite-sized sheep, the one closest to the viewer is missing a leg, and the poor thing doesn't even have a prosthesis. And why does this sheep to the right have a long black tail? Perhaps it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. 22. Taking all the sheep into consideration, you'll agree that they get smaller way too fast in the given perspective. Unless the ones in the back are lambs, itsy-bitsy lambs of our teeny-tiny sheep. 23. Looks like the wheelbarrow is missing a wheel and a handle. So, if it only has one wheel, how come it doesn't fall over? Not to mention, it would get really annoying walking around that old broken wheelbarrow just sitting in the way every time you take the hay to the barn. 24. There's something off about the lake in the distance, don't you think? That's because it's situated higher than the horizon. 25. The chimney on the roof is made out of the same material as the roof itself, and that just won't do. So, how many mistakes did you manage to spot? Go on and toot your own horn in the comments below. Share this video with your friends and compare your results.
I got them all.
Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel.
All 25.
You'll find a lot of interesting